In the previous episode, we started our trip to the Flinders Ranges by setting ourselves up at Laura, where we received these scones on our arrival. While we were at Laura, we went out to the Rabbra Forest and checked on this campsite that we're booked into for next year. From Laura, we moved to Spear Creek Caravan Park, and while there, we went to Port Augusta and had a return trip to Quorn on the Pitchy Ritchie steam train. I'm Mick, and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia, and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. If you like the following video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. In this episode, we do some off-grid camping at Warren Gorge, and then we go into Quorn where we set ourselves up in the caravan park, and then that allows us to check out the sights of Quorn. We ponder at some of the history that must be in the railway yard there at Quorn, and then that night we go to the Quorn Silo Light Show. After leaving Quorn, we check out the Kanyaka Homestead as we make our way towards Hawker and eventually to Rawnsley Park, where we set ourselves up for 3 nights. It was beautiful weather today to be out on the road and made for perfect travelling as we headed towards Port Augusta and turned off at Stirling North and made our way up to Quorn and then on to Warren Gorge. It wasn't very long on the road, and then we reached the main Adelaide to Port Augusta road, and it was amazing when you get on this highway, the increase in the amount of traffic that you see on the road. Once we left that main highway and started to head up towards Quorn, it's a very picturesque drive up through the Pitchy Ritchie Pass on the road there, and it was very similar to the train sights that we had on the previous video. Been many years since we've been on the road between Quorn and Warren Gorge, and last time we were up this way it was all gravel road, so it was very pleasing to be able to travel up on this trip on a bitumen road. As we started to go into the gorge itself, the bitumen finished, and then of course it became gravel, but it wasn't very far through the gorge and we were soon at our campsite. Yeah, g'day everyone and welcome to another video, and we're starting this one off at Warren Gorge, which is about 21 k's north of Quorn here in South Australia. Bit of a surprise really when we started coming out from Quorn. Last time we were out this way it was all dirt road, so all bitumen now, very good, right out to the gorge entrance. So no longer that 21 k's, and very green here just behind me where all the grass is growing, and we swing around here, we've got the vehicle and the caravan back there, and here for 2 nights, so should be good. For our campsite here at Warren Gorge on this trip, we had no shade to get in under, and that didn't particularly worry us at all because this time of the year it was very mild temperatures. It was below 20 degrees, sometimes just above, but very nice, and out in the sunshine, of course, that gave us the full potential of the solar panels. There certainly was no shortage of these apostle birds. They were not worried about us being there at all. Warren Gorge, like so many other gorges within the Flinders Ranges of South Australia, certainly is a pretty place to camp. It offers some great views, and this time of the year with the green grass under some of the trees, it was certainly a picture to look at. Warren Gorge is a paid campground, and the cost to camp here is $17 per night. It is payable on the entry into the campground itself if you want to pay there, or as we did, we paid at the Visitors Information Centre at Quorn at the railway station. Drop pit toilets are available throughout the campground. There's no water facilities at all, and there are bins that you dispose of your rubbish as you leave the campground. As we got into the later part of the afternoon and that golden hour came about, the hills behind our camp here just turned to this magic gold colour. With the golden hour now upon us, that also brings in the cooler nighttime air, so it's time to get the fire going. With the early morning sunlight shining through the trees, we could quite easily see that we weren't the only campers at that campground. With no clouds in the sky at all, we knew we were in for a glorious day. Good morning everyone, and a beautiful night last night. We sat around outside and had the fire going for a while, and then went inside, watched a bit of TV on the Brownlow medal count, and a beautiful night for sleeping. So we're going to go for a walk this morning. Looks like it's going to get pretty warm now. The sun's out, blue sky everywhere, and we'll get that walk done before the temperature comes up too hot to be out in the sun, so we'll catch you along that walk. The road network that takes you along the campground are all in good conditions, and when you get to each campsite, most of them have got their own fire pit. It was very green along the main creek that runs through the campground in the gorge, and some of it had water in it, and because of this we were hoping that we might catch sight of a yellow-footed rock wallaby, but unfortunately that wasn't to be. I'm not too sure how long the road that takes you through the camping ground itself along the gorge, how long or how many kilometres that road is in length, but it's certainly a long way, and there's a varied types of camping sites that are on offer throughout the gorge. With the morning now starting to warm up, it was time to make our way back to the caravan, enjoy a bit of shade. These apostle birds were back at our feet again, and they certainly went berserk when you gave them a bit of seed to eat. With similar sort of light to what we had the evening before in the golden hour, these ranges certainly are a spectacular and beautiful sight to look at with the late afternoon light on it. And as the sun was going down, we weren't sure what sort of day we were going to be in for tomorrow with our red sunset. You don't always need a campfire to keep warm. It's the atmosphere that it sets with the smell of the campfire smoke, and to be able to watch that flame flicker, it just sets the atmosphere. Good morning everyone. We're leaving Warren Gorge this morning. We've been here 2 nights, quite good here, and we're going into Quorn today for 2 nights there, so in the caravan park at Quorn. The only thing is it's only 21 kilometres from here to Quorn, so it won't take us very long at all to get into Quorn, so very slow pack up today. We'll head off just before lunch. In theory we can't book into the caravan park there in Quorn until midday, so no rush at all this morning to get going, and we'll just enjoy this beautiful sunshine that we got at the moment, and a bit of rain last night. Not enough to wet the ground really, but certainly hear it on the roof of the caravan at one stage, so we'll get packed up and get on our way. Because we paid previously at the information centre at Quorn to camp at this campground, we forgot on our way in to leave part of that entry permit in this box here as we entered into the campground, so We were good people. We did it on our way out, a little bit late, but it's always got to be done. With all the relevant information where it should be for the camping permit for Warren Gorge, we did that slow 21 kilometres to head back to Quorn. Yeah, g'day everyone, we're in the Car Caravan Park now. Got here fairly late this morning it was. We couldn't check in until midday. They don't allow check-ins prior to 12 noon, so we did a bit of shopping, a bit of a walk around Quorn itself in the town, and had an early lunch and then come in here at 12. So all set up now, and we're going to go for a bit of a walk now across the other side of the oval and just have a bit of a look where my grandparents used to live, and we'll catch you during the day. For me, having been born at Quorn, of course I've got a lot of fond memories of the town. Quorn, with its picturesque setting and the heritage listing buildings, the town is known for tourism and as a filming location where many movies have been made, and as well as that, it's the terminus for the Pitchy Ritchie railway system. As we walked around the streets of Quorn, you can understand why so many movies have been made here with all these buildings. It certainly has got some history to it. The town certainly caters well for tourism, and there's a lot of caravan parking available, even along the main street between the main part of the town and the railway line for the Pitchy Ritchie Railway. There's plenty of cafes and coffee shops, and as well as that, there's a gin factory and a local IGA grocery. As we walked around and viewed a lot of the heritage listed buildings, we came across this setting here. Very modern and up to date, and it must be used for functions of some sort. We're not quite sure. There was no signboard to tell us what it was all about, but certainly something different to look at from the remainder of the town. The Quorn railway station building, certainly a building that is recognisable in many movies that have been made. I'm not sure whether tourists were permitted to freely walk amongst the railway yard and view everything that was in there, but there's certainly a lot of equipment still sitting on the railway line, and there must be a lot of history associated with all this equipment. I can vaguely remember as a young kid laying in bed at my grandparents' house listening to some of these trains coming and going all hours of the night. When we viewed the Quorn Silo light show that night, it was listed there that there was 44 trains running in a 24-hour period here at one occasion. It was nice to see these two old diesel locos of the Pitchy Ritchie railway system here doing some work. Not quite sure what they were doing, but they came into the railway yard, did what they had to do, and then returned back to the workshop. The Quorn Silo light show is currently projecting every night from sunset. There is no charge to view this light show, and they've got these seats here around the projection room directly opposite the silos. Not only is it a light show, there is a sound presentation that follows with the pictures as they're showing them up on the silo, and the wealth of information and history that's described and displayed amongst this light and sound show is incredible. The light show went on for approximately 30 minutes, and we found it quite easy to watch and very informative on the area. We were surprised by the numbers of the crowd that came to view this, and it's certainly well worth having a look, and if you're ever in the area, it's worth spending that half hour here. The Car Caravan Park is located centrally to the town and is set amongst some very old gum trees. As it is central to the town, if you wish, you can even walk over to view that silo light show. There is no lawn, or very little lawn, within the caravan park itself, and all the caravan sites are gravel. They are a good size and there's no issues with getting your van and your vehicle on your site. The camp kitchen, with its rustic appearance and with one side open, it certainly offers the caravaner and camper everything that one would desire. Both the camp lounge and the laundry are located centrally within the park. The ancient gum trees that were within the park certainly offered some shade if you were lucky enough to be under one. There are a small number of cabins within the caravan park, and as well as that, there are designated fire pits where you can have a fire. Good morning everyone, we're on the move again this morning. We leave Quorn, we'll go down and do some shopping, get some last minute groceries, fresh bread and the likes, bit of milk. On our way out from here today, and we head towards Hawker. And on the way there, we'll have a look at Kanyaka Ruins, the old station there. And then we'll be on to Hawker, we'll refuel there, organise a few prescriptions. And then we'll be on to Rawnsley Park, so we'll catch you along the way. After leaving Quorn and travelling 43 kilometres towards Hawker, that took us up to the old Kanyaka Homestead. The turn off from the main highway that takes you down to the old ruins is well signposted. As the road brings us closer to the old ruins, it becomes quite obvious how large this homestead must have been back in its day. Kanyaka Station was established as a cattle station back in 1952. At its peak, there was as many as 70 families working on the station. After a period of time, cattle were no longer viable on this station and they turned over to sheep, and after many severe droughts, that too became unviable, and in 1888 the station shut down. On the road again to complete our 104 kilometres for the day, and as we went through Hawker we did a few errands there, organised a prescription and so on, and then we soon turned up at Rawnsley Park. With the Rawnsley Bluff now in the windscreen, we knew we were getting close to Rawnsley Park. Turning left off the main highway, we make our way up to Rawnsley Park Campground, where we set ourselves up for 3 nights. The road appeared very busy with people leaving Rawnsley Park, but by the time we got in there and set up, we had magnificent views like this of Rawnsley Bluff. Yeah, g'day everyone, we're here at Rawnsley Park now. We're in the bush camp section, which is an unpad area, and when we rang to book in some weeks ago, the pad section was fully booked out, but that doesn't really worry us. We've got plenty of solar, we'll get by. So all set up now for 3 nights here, and we'll go exploring tomorrow. We're not going to do much today, just enjoy the scenery. We've got great views here, so we'll catch you later on. Rawnsley Park Station overlooks the southern side of Wilpena Pound, and I don't think there'd be too many caravan park sites or camping sites that don't let you see views like this. As the drone flies from above our campsite, it's now making its way towards the eastern end of the camping ground, Car Caravan Park area, and that's where you book in. It's a very, very large area, this one, with lots of pad sites and even more when it comes to unpad. As we started off on a walk, this driver here was waiting in his vehicle for this whirly wind to stop, and eventually he decided to drive around it. A recent rain has left a puddle here, but these puddles were few and far between. The entire camping area of Rawnsley Park Station, whether that be pad or unpad sites, it's all outback bush type camping. There's no bitumen on this place, and that would spoil it if there was. For Rawnsley Park Station, the idea of tourism first began back in 1968 when they built their first cabin, and from then it's grown into what it is today. The reception area and book-in office offers a small amount of grocery items. As well as that, they have got some tourism items. But one thing that we did buy while we were there, we thought we'd try another pack of station meat, and we found this to be very nice and extremely tender. As well as your normal caravan and camping sites, they do offer cabins, and as well as that, a big array of villas. If you're a regular coming to this area, there are some very nice sites in amongst the trees here, and if you wanted to come back time after time and knew your site numbers, you could book the site that you wanted. Once you leave the pad section of the camping area, you then enter into what's called the bush camping section, which is all unpad, and then very shortly after that you've got this dam here, a water catchment area, and that separates the bush camping area that's further afield. And now we're flying away from that dam and heading across into the bush camping section, and it's quite some distance from that dam to the end of the bush camping section. So if anyone knows how many kilometres it is, and I'd say it'd have to be probably at least 2 or more, just leave a comment down below and let me know, because it is a long way. Having such a big area for bush camping, it certainly allows the campers to find somewhere secluded where they're not camping right alongside someone else. The bush camping area wouldn't want to be a location that you would want to get into for the first time in the dark, because we went for a bit of a drive at one stage just to have a look at it, and you go through this creek here. It's quite sharp to go down into, and the departure angle is sharp as well once you come up the other side, so tackling this one at night in your van would certainly get you thinking about what you're doing. From our campsite late in the afternoon during golden hour, it certainly gave us a beautiful view of Rawnsley Bluff. Coming up in the next episode, we capture some beautiful views of Rawnsley Bluff from the road, and as well as that, we go to some of the other lookouts and look across into the Flinders Ranges. We have a look at the Great Wall of China. From the Great Wall of China, we make our way to Blinman, where we then enter into the Parachurna Gorge, and after driving through the gorge, we travel down the main highway before turning left into Morillana Drive, and then return back to the caravan. Well, that brings us to the end of another video, and we'll finish this one off here at Rawnsley Park. And starting to warm up now, but days are very nice. Bit of breeze that's certainly keeping the overall temperature down, so it's quite nice. And we'll kick off the next video here at Rawnsley Park as well. So until that next one goes up, you take care and look after yourself. If you like the video that you just watched, give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more of our videos, click on the subscribe button, and once you've done that, change the bell notification to all. That way every time that we do uploads to our YouTube channel, you'll be notified.